Alright. X is ready. Trigger is ready. I am ready. I guess we can bring our overlay back for this one. We're gonna do a 1v1. I believe we're gonna do everything one by one, but there's also a chance that maybe one match is played at the same time, and then we'll still show it to you guys. We'll just cast the replay. We'll have some fun. As long as I don't know the outcome, I like casting the replay. Here we go. Mothership is going to be our battleground. X is a fun player, by the way, guys. He's a wild Colombian Zerg. He's been around for a very long time. Obviously, it's possible that some of you guys are not that familiar with him. I met him in 2018 in South Korea, as he was there to represent Colombia at the Intel Extreme Masters tournament. The tournament that Scarlet won back then. X has always been a Zerg that just makes a lot of units. He's not a hive tech kind of Zerg. He's a lair tech Zergy or even a hatchery tech kind of Zergy. And he may have a very fun build up his sleeve. We're gonna figure this one out. Obviously very important that we win this. We need to win this. We are supposed to win this. Let's get the W.
Let's get it on.
Bottom side of Mothership, we're looking at the main base of our Canadian Protoss who is living in South Korea. It is Trigger. And top left side, we're looking at the main base of the man who I perhaps have a chance to meet next year, as I should be going to Colombia for the very first time in my life. As one of my good friends, my German friend Lino from the channel, is gonna get married in Colombia, and he invited me, and I'm gonna do my absolute best to be there. I've never been to Colombia. I would love to make that trip, and I would love to meet this man, as he's a cool kid. It is X. Trigger is scouting very early. This is obviously a 3-player map where you're not guaranteed to find your opponent at your very first try. There are no spawning indications, so unfortunately for Trigger, he did scout in the wrong direction. And he's going to be somewhat relieved when he sees there is just a hatchery on the low ground. Nothing too crazy is happening. Colombia is massive, I know. Obviously, that's the part of the map that's a little bit deceiving, right? Like the typical ooh, that's a misclick on the side of X, as he clicked all of his drones down the gas. The Mercator projection. Colombia already looks big, but then you know where it is, and you know that countries that are on that part of the map are actually so much bigger than what they are. I'd love to visit. I really feel like I would love the country. I've been able to go to Brazil a couple of times for Starcraft tournaments, and I had a really good time. I love the South American vibes. Some good weather, nice drinks, great food, you know, good happy music. How can you go wrong? I feel like Lina's wedding would be very, very fun to attend. So we're gonna do our absolute best to make that happen. And of course, if I make that trip for the wedding, like I'm not just gonna fly in on Friday, go to the wedding on Saturday and go home on Sunday. That would be a total waste of airplane tickets and whatnot. We'll definitely stay a couple of days and see. I know that you're not gonna see the entire country because it is so big, but just to visit a few cities, see some cool landmarks, have a nice day at the beach or something, party a little. Gonna try to make the best of it. Come to Brazil. I don't think I can casually go to Brazil this time around. Ooh, nice pylon block. But I hope that one day I have a good reason to return to Brazil, mate. So guys, X has gone for a very quick lair. This is already a little bit tricky. This is something that Trigger would love to scout, but Trigger is not getting into the main base. After he got pylon blocked, has decided to go for a very, very quick lair. Just take the private jet. You know, it's funny, Meat Mouse, about you saying that. A long time ago, when I lived in Rancho Cucamonga, and I was a caster for, let's say, WCS America for ESL, and before that I obviously worked for NESL. The ESL studio was in Burbank, and I lived in Rancho Cucamonga. And Nathanias and I organized a night for a bunch of StarCraft fans that lived in the LA area to come over to our place to play some games, have some fun, some snacks, some drinks. It was a really cool evening, as we had like lots of local viewers back then from the area. And there were a couple of people that were like quite, you know, casual and are not super familiar with the world of esports. And somebody said, so you live in Rancho Cucamonga, but the ESL studio is in Burbank. So how do you travel every day? Because, ooh, this is bad, by the way, guys. The floodgates are open. We were not able to time that perfectly, so I'll finish that story later. As now the Lynx get in. The Lynx get a full surround on the pylon. Trigger could be in a tiny bit of trouble. as X is link flooding like no tomorrow, and the trigger at this point has one Oracle. Oracle's obviously, you can recharge. No, X cannot let this wall off go up. That's a mistake by X, guys. That really is a big mistake. I mean, he does have some drop alerts. This is a mistake. He was not supposed to let this pylon go down. Imagine how stressful this would be right now if all those links would be roaming the main base, the natural, and forcing the oracles to keep track of them and run pulsar beam all this time. I think X had a golden opportunity to maybe win this game, but I think he made a massive mistake by not having a Ling here on patrol, preventing this pylon from going down. And that could very well be a game-ending mistake on the side of X, because now Trigger is just going to re-wall, build a Void Ray. Ooh, we dodged the minor bullet. We dodged the minor bullet. I think now we're honestly kind of okay. I wouldn't hate a couple shield batteries here, Trigger. He's going to rebuild the Cyber Core. I feel not building a shield battery or two here is a tiny bit stubborn, but I guess Trigger is just that confident that he really doesn't need it. You know, he's got adapts, he's got oracles, he's got a Void Ray. He's more than fine now. The rush is filled. But the rush was almost a total success. It really was. We got a little bit fortunate here. There's no other way to put it. X is morphing 13 Banelings. Sweet baby Jesus. He is going to blow up the pylons. He's going to blow up at gateway. As I said, a shield battery would have made our life easier. I still think Trigger is going to be fine. We are going to lose a lot of probes. That is inevitable. But losing probes is fine as long as we don't die. GG gets skull. Trigger takes the 1-0 lead for Basilisk. I just want to go back, guys, to what I think is really the most crucial moment of this game by far. At this point, if you look at the amount of units we get in on the side of X, it's so good. 18 Zerglings against 1 Oracle. And he gets this pylon, so he empowers a gate, he empowers the second gate. At this point, all the production that Trigger has is 1 Stargate. What X needs to do here, absolute top priority number 1, is prevent this wall off from going up. Even if there's an Oracle, it doesn't matter. You run some links right. Like these links right here, they need to be here. They need to be here, and they are not there. He was a bit too distracted by trying to pick up these links. And pylons obviously generate HP very quickly. And that is where X lost the game. If X has a couple of links running up and down there, he's fine. Check Discord. There's an error in the lineup. Okay. Good afternoon, bye. Anyway, to go back to my story, guys, as we are getting ready for Serral versus Universe, a TVZ. So, somebody said, like, so you guys live in Rancho Cucamonga, and if I show you on the map quickly where that is. But the ESL studio is in Burbank. And you guys are casting like 4 or sometimes even 5 days a week. How do you get back and forth? Because obviously traffic can be very bad in the LA area. And to give you guys an idea, so this is where Rancho Cucamonga is. So this is where Nathaniel and I lived. And this is where West Burbank, here somewhere, right? Here. So you go from basically here. Where's my mouse? Yeah, like from this area you drive to here. Like 4 or 5 times a week. But obviously the traffic can be very bad on the 10 and the 210. Anybody that lives there knows that. So somebody at this party is like, so do you guys go up and down by like helicopter? And I was like, bro, who the fuck do you think I am? You think I'm Kobe Bryant? It's like, no, I'm stuck in traffic like every other pleb in this entire county. Like, no, we're not going up and down by helicopter to the ESL studio to cast a couple of games of Starcraft 2. That's unfortunately not quite the life we're living. But he was that serious. He really thought that Nathan and I would just be flying up and down by helicopter 5 times a week. I was like, no, mate. I've got a car, I've got a license, and I'm stuck in traffic like every other pleb.
Round 2, fight!
Top left side of Ruby Rock, guys, for our second clan war, and it's the second match in the second clan war, representing Basilisk. It's the one and only Jonas Satala, Serral. Bottom right side of Ruby Rock, we're looking at the main base of the man who was chatting in the channel earlier and is obviously active in the Discord as well. Apparently he really missed my stream while I was gone for those 17 days. It is a Korean Terran player called Universe. And talking about travels, etc. Often somebody got idea. Yeah, I mean, like, sure, I wasn't living next to the studio. And I wish that I was, but no. I've actually never been in a helicopter in my life. It's not that I'm mega afraid, but it's also not something that I'm like, oh, I really want to step in a helicopter and take a ride with a helicopter. It would kind of scare me, to be honest. If I ever have a cool opportunity to see something nice with a helicopter, I'd probably do it. I was very confused once because I had so many dreams in my life about being in helicopters that when somebody asked me, I could generally not answer if I've ever been in a helicopter or not. And I was thinking so hard. I was like, I feel like I have these memories, but all of these memories are just from dreams or nightmares that I was actually in one. I know this dude. That was literally right there. Right, was the Burbank area. Very sad. Not the biggest basketball fan, but when I heard about that news, I was very sad. Especially knowing that he leaves kids behind. I've been following it a little bit, Scrunch, but I'm not much of a tabletop kind of guy, and I'm also not a painter. But I am certain that once the Starcraft 2 tabletop is available for a lot of the nerds out there, you guys will see Loco painting some miniatures, and he's really good at it. You guys will probably see Kalaris fire up a stream, and I'm sure that a lot of the community will enjoy sharing their creations. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to everybody else being excited and appreciating the art. I'm personally not going to get involved because I just have zero artsy skills, like generally zero. And on top of that, I'm not much of a tabletop guy, but I'm very excited for everyone that is excited, and I hope it's awesome. I hope the game is fun. Serral has gone for a very early pull with a couple of links. He's gonna sneak them to the other side of the map, so once that Reaper has made it to the top left, the universe is now aware of the fact that Serral has gone for that early pull, early guess, and he has to deal with a couple of Zerglings with speed immediately. 3 Marines is, I think, enough, especially with the Reaper making its way over. Not a bad start for Universe, a bit annoying that he lost 2 SCVs. Follow-up is going to be interesting. I haven't really casted this young man a whole lot, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect. Seems like we're just going to build Hellions. It's a double command center opening so far, no very quick third command center. Did you just wake up, Pi? Did you watch the race live, by the way, or not? What did you do after we were done racing? Because I went to bed. I wasn't... I was like, there's a 0% chance that I'm gonna watch 18 or more games of StarCraft tomorrow and do a good job if I also watch a race live at 7 AM when I haven't slept yet. On top of that, I was up at 8 AM yesterday, so I started my day very early. I was so tired at the end of our race. I like legit just turned into a zombie. I couldn't look at the screen anymore. You watched it live? You're crazy. You're crazy. I could not do that. What time were you up on Saturday? You must have like woken up a lot later than I did. I was so tired. It's been a while that I've had like a 22-hour day. I was out and about with family, and then I did some gaming. I was dead. Serral has a good Overlord Scout in the main base of Universe here in Game 2. Sees the armory, and that's obviously the most important thing that he's going to be looking for. The idea of a couple of Marauders and a Hellbats and medevac support is good, but it never really works if Serral gets such an early scout. For sure, Biani. I think historically that is very true. And that is why you saw some extreme statistics where if you guys think, for instance, of a Zerg like Bly. Bly was obviously one of the better Zergs in Europe for a while, but he was always a bit different, right? He relied on some crazy builds and gimmicks. And Bly would find a lot of success in ZVZ. Bly was a world-class ZVP player. But then he would lose like 50 games in a row against Hero Marine, and I'm not even lying. Because it's just, TVZ is a very honest matchup where there are very few cheap and easy wins to get. Serral has scouted, knows exactly what to do. He's got more than enough units. He's also countering with just a couple links, but a couple of links are already a problem when all you have in your natural is a Marauder. So 7 SCVs go down, Universe gets 0 damage done, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm kind of afraid that this game is all over. Roaches, hello Mariner. I'm still sorry for ruining your race, mate. I really didn't mean to. I saw nothing. My eyes started getting like all watery, and I just drove on the grass and I went off, and then I just had no idea that you were near me. So I apologize for bumping into you twice on my way back to the track. Old man was no longer functioning. Couple of corrosive balls landing on the Hellbed, on the Marauder. Another corrosive ball lands. The orbital is burning down. It's safe to say that this one is all over. The swarm is here in all its glory. And just like that, we're up at 2-0. And it's time for some 2v2. So we'll do Serral Goblin first as a 2v2 team. And then we'll do Trigger and Goblin. No, it's Trigger Goblin first. Right? No, Goblin Serral. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Goblin Serral plays first. Trigger is our Canadian P. He did win. We're up 2-0. Trigger and Serral. Serral versus... yeah, we got many more races, I know. And next time it won't be at such an awful time for me, so I can hopefully make it through without driving off. Staying on track is useful. Goblin Serral versus Cham and eGGz. Goblin Serral versus Cham eGGz. It's Goblin Serral. Goblin Serral and Cham eGGz. 5 minutes. Wardi hosting while also casting the other match. Wardi is multitasking right now, guys. And if you guys think it's impressive that Wardi is casting Team Liquid versus No Ace Jin and hosting lobbies for us, I want you guys to know that he's also playing RuneScape on the side. And he's talking to Twitch chat. Like Wardi right now, he's everywhere. He's like, brrrt. Yeah, we'll do Trigger and Serral for the last one. We can also do Trigger Goblin. It doesn't matter. Young Rotti woke up for MMA and survived another long ESL cast day with Monster Energy. Yeah, I used to stay up for UFC nights very often. And I used to make fun of Lino, because Lino is a working man. And then Lino would come over from Germany and he's like, oh, we're going to have such a good weekend together. We're going to like bet on some sports and drink beer and have great food. And then we're going to stay up all night and watch the UFC. Then it's like 2 a.m. and I look over at my couch and Lino's just like... he's like mega dead. I was like, well, what a great night with the boys. But these days, that's me. Like, I can't do it anymore either. Yeah, you can have a conversation with Lino and he's like into whatever we are watching. And then you're just kind of quiet for 20 seconds because you're grabbing a snacky and you're like, oh, I'll go outside, have a smoke or whatever. You come back and then Lino's just passed out. I was like, I guess the life of a working man ain't easy. And that was me basically yesterday. I was doing okay in the beginning. I was actually not even driving that bad. I was really doing quite fine. My brain shut down at the start. So even though I've played, I want to say like 1,000 hours of F1 or maybe 700 hours of F1 altogether across all the games, I just completely forgot how to start. And it's really not that hard. You press a button, you press another button, and you let go of a button. And I looked at the grid, I was like, I don't know what to do. So I just pressed buttons and then I got a false start. So I had a drive-through penalty. Then I have to enter the pit lane, 80 kilometers an hour. Apparently I'm driving 81, so I get a 10-second penalty. I was like, oh, this is good. It's 4 a.m. and my race is ruined in like 45 seconds, all because of me. But when it came to like actually driving the first 30 laps, I was kind of fast. I was not doing bad. But then I just had another brain malfunction and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Let me go ahead and hide my camera and the overlay so you guys can enjoy the 2v2 action properly. We have taken a 2-0 lead in our 5th clan war of the group stage. We've got another big clan war to go after this, guys, so don't go anywhere. This one, we are, of course, supposed to win. That's just the way it is. And I hope that we deliver. So far, so good. Bottom side of Roscallion. I do know this map very well. I've played this map together with Gabe. Bottom side, we've got X from Colombia. And we've got Cham from Mexico. And, of course, for us, the boys in blue. Top left side, the great Jonas Sutala. And the one and only Goblin from Croatia. This clan war is happening at the exact same time as Team Liquid versus No Ace Jinair. And then later on I'll sync up my timing and my agenda with Wardi. And then we'll be casting Basilisk versus not CJentus. Couple of great matches in that one as Hero is playing twice. I love their seeding, by the way. They start off with Hero in game 1 and they start off with Hero in game 2. Yeah, things went very well with Platinum Heroes, but if you guys just joined us, it's really worth taking a look at Alex versus Goblin. Not that it was like the greatest game ever, but it was a good game, it was a fun game, it was competitive. And Fjont against Serral is honestly worth watching, especially the first 5 minutes. But the rest, indeed, it all went really well. So many Zergs here, by the way, guys. 3 freaking Zergs. Yeah, Fjont almost turned Serral into knakkebröd. It came down to, I think, a queen surviving on 8 HP. A queen making it back onto the ramp like a pixel before the Lynx were able to get a wraparound. It was actually very close. Yeah. Goblin is a bit outnumbered. The 1 alien surrounded by the 3 Zergies. This was me in high school, guys. I just wanted to talk about video games, and then my friends just wanted to talk about girls. And I was like, no, but what about Warcraft? And they weren't listening to me. So then I just played more Warcraft. And they bullied me a little. But in a good way. It was all good. I could take it. And then they went on holidays together, and I played more Warcraft. But then I started traveling for all the Warcraft 3 tournaments, because I got good at the video game. What is that guy in the corner spotting me? A little. I had a good childhood, mate. Good childhood. High school was fun. Nothing to complain about. But I was obviously a bit of the odd one out there. Like a lot of my friends played video games. They just wanted to play some FIFA and get drunk. And I was locked in, you know. Working on my Orc versus Orc so I could beat Grubby one day. Slightly different. One of these kids was not like the other. Stargate for us on the side of Goblin. Serral has dropped a safety Baneling Nest. I would say that is probably mandatory when you're going up against double Zerg. I guess the best thing that Goblin could do here is just like either single Oracle or maybe double Oracle. And then we just play Blink. And then Serral is just going to match what the Zergies are doing. And as long as we do that, we're going to be okay. For me, 2v2 is still a bit of a learning process, especially at the highest level. I have played some 2v2 in my life, but I had like a 10-year break of playing 2v2. Played a couple games with Gabe, but I was in a bit of a different meta, a different era where, you know, everyone was just feeding and I was just spamming Phoenix. And Gabe was just spamming Hellions and tanks. Oracle activates Pulsar Beam, and it's a very promising start for our guys. Goblin's going to be happy with that. The Oracle still healthy as we have Serral with a couple of Banelings here and looking for a good connection. So this is going to be fun because Serral's just going to be playing 1 against 2. All the red Zerg units belong to either X or Cham. All the blue Zerg units are always Serral. So it's Serral against 2 South American Zergs with a little bit of Oracle support. I like our chances, guys. I really like our chances. The Oracles are very useful here. The Banelings obviously made it difficult for Eggs and Cham to get on top of the Lynx. I just think that Cham is doing a good job in bringing the Queens over. And that's going to keep this hatchery of Eggs alive for now. Take a little look at the work account. We have Serral on 38 drones with Goblin at 44 probes already. Goblin is living his best life. Seems like our South American Zergies are gonna send it. They're feisty, they are rallying everything that they have to the other side of the map. But the queen count is not high enough, no? I could ask him, Swiss Nick. If I have to guess, I would say Medellin. I think he's from Medellin. I feel like I've heard that once. But I can just ask him. Because these games are live, he's on Battle.net. I was actually curious as well, so thank you for putting that question out there. Goblin realizes that going up to 3 bases here might be a little bit too much. I like the Void Ray. That he's from Bogota? Okay, the capital. I like the Void Ray, guys, because I already pointed out that there really isn't that much anti-air on the side of the Colombian Zergies here. They do have a lot of units on the ground. As long as Goblin does not lose any Oracles to Corrosive Balls, I don't think we're in that much danger. Serral obviously does not want to lose this hatchery. Goblin being forced to cancel a Nexus is one thing. I think the Queens are still coming. The Queens are slow. And Cham is bringing over drones as well to be building spores. But Goblin snipes all 4 of them. That is beautiful. Cham bringing 4 drones to the other side of the map to build spore crawlers on the creep of Serral. But Goblin saw what was happening there and he killed every single drone. Honestly, kind of cool. And now, yeah, this is the problem for the South Americans. Obviously, they run out of anti-air. Now, this Void Ray of Goblin does have some work to do, and Serral doesn't really have all that many units anymore. And that is an understatement, but we've got roach production. We've got spines on the high ground, we've got a cannon, we've got a battery. The thing is, I kind of felt that maybe X and Cham could have gone back after getting a cancel on this Nexus, killing a couple of ground units, and killing this hatchery. I don't think they had to go up this ramp. Going up this ramp, I think, was a bit stubborn, because you're just going to lose units there. You're not going to get much in return. And now these queens that are so far off creep, the oracles can help out the Void Ray. And I actually think that Goblin can make a dive for these two queens as well. What do we got here? Oh, now the oracles are going to go for drones instead. Knowing that it's unlikely spore crawlers were built because lots of queens were produced early. So Goblin says, you know what, why settle for 2 queens in the center of the map when I can get deep into the main base or natural and kill a couple of drones. There's no spores anywhere. There are 2 spores. Okay, one is in the main base, but it's a bit off position. Now, Goblin is playing a stunning 2v2 here, guys. Well done. Okay, he just lost an oracle. Don't tell me he lost 2 oracles. He lost 2 oracles. Goblin is no longer playing a stunning PvP. Goblin just lost 3 oracles. No. Oh, I just wanted to give some love to my Croatian Protoss, but then he donates 2 out of 3 oracles. Still, a lot of damage was dealt, and it was fine. It was okay. We can live with it, but maybe not the best moment to be praising him when he's donating 2 oracles and he almost loses the 3rd. Hello, matey. I think we're fine. Serral supply is looking good. He's got missile attacks on the way. Obviously, Goblin has his hands on Blink as well. So it really wasn't about the oracles anymore, guys. Our man is now relying on the Blinky, boys. Are you next? Exclamation mark B. Take a look at the order, but you're either next or second next. I mean, obviously today is a little bit hectic as we're now playing the Clan Wars out of order, but as I said before, I think Wardi loves the Team League, but it obviously gives him a lot of headaches, and I think at this point Wardi just wants to enter the playoffs. Because the moment we're in the playoffs, everything is going to be so much easier for Wardi to oversee and arrange and handle, and he knows he can count on everyone to show up. So it's Goblin next. Okay. Goblin is next, Reynor, so you've got some time, mate. And by the time Goblin's 1v1 and the 2v2 is done, you're going to be 24 minutes in your game of League, and you're going to be in the fountain anyway for most of it. So, yeah, I know early game you hold your own. Level 1, level 2, level 3. You don't die all that often, but let's be honest, Mace. Double digits when it comes to the game clock, and you spend more time in the fountain than you do out on the map. So you can definitely play that game of League and your 1v1 at the same time. I'm not worried. I know you can do it. Should record it for Basilisk. We can put it on the YouTube channel, mate. It's good content. Reynor plays a competitive video game and another video game at the same time. The South American Zergies are sending it, and they actually got quite a bit of DPS with all these roaches, ravages in the mix, couple of hydras helping out, and 4 queens that are going to try to make it all the way on creep. Serral does have a lot of reinforcements on the way, and obviously Stalk has packed a punch, especially because they've got +1 already, so I think we're going to be fine here. Looked a tiny bit scary for a split second, but in the end, I think Goblin and Serral should have enough defensive units here. We even have the storm from downtown. Goblin with the shield. Bang! Bang! A little bit of NBA commentary. GG gets gold, and we take the 3-0 lead. And we get ready for Goblins 1v1. It would be good content. Yeah, absolutely. I'd watch it. I believe that Reynor would do very fine in Starcraft. The League game, I don't know. I don't want to make any statements on that. But Starcraft, he'd be doing fine. Even if, you know, if you guys have ever seen Reynor stream in the past, like the kid alt taps every 3 seconds anyway. I remember the first time that Reynor ever stayed over at my place. I was molding so freaking hard, just sitting behind him. Because he could not sit still for like 3 seconds without alt-tabbing, opening Discord, writing something silly, and continuing his game while also streaming. Just like, what are we doing, mate? Can we just play our ladder game? Fucking Zoomers. Absolute fucking Zoomer energy coming out of Reynor. He's a bit older now, so maybe it's less severe, but back then it was really obnoxious. Yeah. She told you her name was Kerrigan? Love at first sight, mate, or not? That's cool. How did it go? Where was it? Where was this bar? Now I want to know more. That sounds like the start of a really great, exciting story. So, Goblin Cham, guys. Goblin versus Cham. Best of one. Goblin, Creation Protoss, Cham, Max Zerk. That's like one of these little life moments that lives rent-free in my head. I was like, oh, this is going to be so fun. I can sit behind Reynor, I can watch him stream and play some games. That's fucking stressed me out. Reynor all-tapped more in the first 5 minutes of his ZVZ than I've tapped in like 12 years of streaming. It's driving me nuts. My brother called me. Let me guess, he needs a code. Sorry guys, that's my brother contacting me. Alrighty. Game 4. It is a match point for us in this clan war. That is obviously a mandatory victory for us if we want to finish top 2 in the group stage. And I feel like we owe it to ourselves to finish top 2. But, oh, nice colors, guys. Nice colors. At least it's not a mirror matchup, but it's still kind of painful. Bottom right side of Tydo's Citadel, we're looking at the main base of our blue Protoss from Croatia, Goblin. Top left side, we're looking at the main base of our teal Zerg from Mexico. It is Cham. Goblin, of course, fighting for Basilisk. Cham representing Exceritus. I'll take a look if my brother still needs me. My brother is very useful when it comes to helping me with things that I'm horrible at, like taxes and certain other things. So he does a lot for me, invoices. I'm very bad at all these things. So my brother does it for me, and then in return, like, I obviously pick up my nephew sometimes. I walk the dog, or I give him a couple of buckies for his effort, even though he's way richer than me. But he's also truly impeccable on only ever reaching out to me when I'm streaming. Like, my brother has like 2 set windows to contact me in general. Monday evening from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday evening from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Or any other random moment that I'm streaming. It is truly impossible for my brother to ever reach out to me when I'm not streaming. I swear to God that he's like low-key trolling me, that he opens Twitch. He's like, is he live? Yes, okay. Now I'm going to reach out to him and see if he can give me X, Y, or Z. Team Liquid looks like they're going to make it to 2-1 now. One guy says GNR winning versus Team Liquid, and the other one says Team Liquid is winning. Who's telling the truth here, guys? Who is telling the truth? I'm not too worried. I'm not too focused on what is happening between those 2 teams. I am focused on our own performance here, and I'm focused on our performance in the next match against eGGz. We obviously had a bit of a slip-up, a blip last Friday as we lost to no ace GNR. It is what it is. But today we are supposed to set the record straight. And I think if we perform up to our level, up to our standards, we're going to be fine against not eGGz as well. Even if they are very good, they've got Hero. And Hero is an absolute freaking maniac at the moment. When are we going to get another Rotti Brother stream? I feel like we can definitely do that one day, mate. It's just that my brother doesn't play too many video games these days. I'm sure that he will do some F1 with us again when the times are better. Like, there's a 0% chance that my brother will do what I did yesterday night, and that is race at 4 a.m. But if we soon have some of the European races and it's just like a little Sunday morning, I think my brother will stop by and do some races with us. But the only video game that he plays these days is PUBG. He likes PUBG and everything else. Like, he used to be a massive Starcraft or a RTS fan, as he was a die-hard Command & Conquer player, and he loved it even when they re-released it. Like, he loves Red Alert and all that stuff. But he just never got into StarCraft 2. I've obviously tried to get him excited over it, but he has a problem with the word craft. Don't ask me why. I personally think it's because he doesn't know what it means, but when I got very good in Warcraft 3, and for the first time his little brother was better in a video game than he was, he said he will never play a game with the word craft in it. But I will never beat him in Red Alert or Command & Conquer or whatever, because he will always be better than me. Some real big brother energy coming out of my bro. And then obviously after many years of Warcraft 3, first complaining about the fact that it was orcs and elves, then I said there is a new game right now, Starcraft. It has guys with a gun, it has tanks. You can build tanks again, mate. You don't have to build orcs and elves, you can build tanks. That's when the word craft was apparently the hurdle that he could not overcome. Hello, Annie. Everything going well? Okay. Whatever. I still have many more matches to go, so. No rush at all. Goblin is not in a rush either. Needs to be careful with the Oracle. I'm not gonna give Goblin any more compliments on playing a stunning game or great Oracle control. The last time we did that, it didn't end very well. I've never seen 2 Oracles die so quickly right after I gave him N kudos. The icing on the cake would have really been if he lost the 3rd one too, but in the end we kept it together. We made Stalkers, we helped Yona defend against the double swarm of the South Americans. And we're up 3-0. This is a very standard PvZ so far. You guys see it 5.5 minutes in. Everything looks the way that things very often look. Oracles roaming the map looking for an opening. Not finding too much, but finding a couple drones here and there. Follow-up is Blink Stalkers. We're going up to 6 gateways, and we've got +1 on the way as well for the Stalkerinos. Cham, maybe what is worth mentioning, is going for +1 melee. So we've got the roaches on the production tab, and he fires up +1 melee. So this could lead into a crazy amount of like roaches, lynx, ravagers, and then a couple queens. Or maybe, I don't know. A late transition into Hydra Ling after making a lot of roaches. I'm not exactly certain where Cham is going to go. To me, the +1 melee makes a bit more sense if you want to be hyper aggressive in like the mid game. I highly doubt that Cham is thinking of Hive Tech and Ultras now, but you never know. Goblin kind of chilling. 2-1 so far in 1v1s in this league for Goblin. Only lost to Rogue, but honestly played a really good game against Rogue. And I think at one point, if he would have slowed it down a little and just be a more obnoxious Protoss, more turtling, more cannons, more batteries, sit at home and pump out some air weapons, I really think he could have been fine. He's gonna drop a stasis trappy, but the Stalkers can retreat to. Not that many Zerglings out on the map for Cham yet, and just the roaches are really not that scary for the Stalkers, especially not on the edge of crit. And Goblin really has way more micro potential here. Needs to kill the Zerglings. He's not able to kill the Zerglings. So it's just 3 Lings that activate the stasis trap. Goblin's gonna send a single Stalker over to deal with this Overlord that was being annoying. And dropping some creep on a future potential 4th base for our Croatian Protoss. I like calling Goblin our own again. Obviously, used to root for our man when he was on Team Rotti. Did very good for us a couple of times in the team leagues. It's really cool to see him now fight alongside Reynor, Trigger and Serral. And I hope that we can see Goblin become a champ. It makes me happy. Long ways to go, and the playoffs obviously going to be very feisty and competitive, and everyone's going to have to bring their A game. We're gonna have to bring our A game here, by the way, because these Lynx do have +1 melee now, and Goblin lost quite a few Stalkers there. I think a few more Stalkers than he would have liked to lose. I also get a tiny bit worried when I see over 1,000 minerals in the bank when it's like 8 minutes in. Can maybe build like a shield battery and a cannon here as well. Not that we really need it at this point, but could make our life a little bit easier later. Goblin will probably prioritize just getting cannons on the outside bases, getting it over here, and then on the new high ground 4th. Cham is gearing up, guys, for serious aggression. We see drop alerts on the production tab. We see Banelings morphing. We see Baneling speed. +1 missile attacks. Cham is gonna get ready. Goblin is gonna need Storm, 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 and a couple of Archons. I think Goblin can hold. Cannons and batteries are really goated in these kind of scenarios, especially if we have a bunch of storms to work with. Like here, we're unlikely to lose control of this base anytime soon. Over here, we need some static D. And he is gonna get it. I think we're okay. I don't love the fleet beacon investment right at this moment, because I think we just need more Archons, more battle units. Let's get a bit closer to being maxed out. And make sure that our High Templars will never get in any danger. But if we obviously survive, then it's going to be very nice that we already have the Baneling Nest. Lots of Lings morphing into Banelings as well on the bottom left side. Cham is going to attack like 3 different locations. Probably going for some Baneling drops into the main or natural or on top of this middle line even. And then an all-out onslaught here and a monstrous Baneling run by over here. There's a bunch of cannons and Storm. Still going to be difficult for Goblin. 1,000 minerals in the bank. I love the triple Archon barrier there at the top of that ramp. That's really cool. All these Banelings will blow up every single probe in this middle line and the High Templar. But I want to say, like, it's really not that bad for Goblin. Sure, he's down 30 workers and he's probably going to lose a few more. But this was mega expensive on the side of Cham. It's not like Cham can just rebuild his army in the blink of an eye and he's got 80 additional Banelings. Goblin indeed barely lost any army supply. I really think he's fine. Like, units lost resource step is gonna tell the tale. Yeah, exactly. And it's 4,000. A couple of Banelings, sorry, as I was focusing on the wrong Dropaloid there. 4,000 resources more going down on the side of Cham. Obviously, Cham did do a good job there with the 4 extra Banelings, killing 9 more workers. That's quite nice. He's got 4 more Banes stuck in this Dropaloid too. Yeah, I feel like Cham's playstyle would be goated if he was working with 1 if not 2 saturated gold mineral bases and has 8 more drones. Then you're just gonna max out, max out, max out, max out. Right now, this is really crippling Cham more than it's crippling Goblin. And it's a bit sad, but the Swarm needs a bigger economy than what Cham is working with. He is maxed out though, and he's gonna try to make this difficult for Goblin once more. And Neil said all of Banelings. Goblin probably wondering where on earth is he getting the money from. It's like, well, he's kind of spending literally every single penny he has. He gets 15 more probes. It is adding up. And we've got a Greater Spire on the way. And Corruptus being built. Okay. I mean, Cham lost 5k resources more. But after all the probes he has taken out, at this point he is mining a steady 1,500 if not close to 2k resources a minute more. So if we can hang on to this economic lead for a little while, it's gonna be alright. Goblin has a Scouting Zealot. Has +3 by the way on his ground army. Holy smokes. Goblin, his Stalkers are gonna have a field day with a couple of Broodlords. And Archons with +3. You know what would be really good right now for Goblin, guys? It's just Plasma Shields. You start researching Plasma Shields and you Chrono Boost it over and over and over again. Because just Stalker Archon is gonna be completely okay here. I would love to see Plasma Shields being researched. Archons benefit like crazy as they're literally all shields. Well, not literally. 95% shields. Broodlords can be an issue, but I'm not that worried about just a couple of Broodlords, because Archons and Stalkers with good upgrades, and we are going to get Plasma Shields, and a Mothership, and some Storms can really keep us safe. I'm not too worried. And if this is Wings of Liberty, and these are the old Broodlords, I'd be kind of worried, but these brutes shouldn't really be all that good. Cham is going to try to make some magic happen once more with Lings, Roaches, Ravages, Banelings, hoping for some big Baneling connection on the workers. Only gets 4. Was definitely hoping for a lot more. The Lings are not getting done anywhere. Goblin is kind of dancing in his own storm. Dancing in the storm for everybody. Cham now losing 7,600 resources more. Out of all the maps to go for this specific playstyle that Cham is choosing, I also think the Taito Citadel may be the worst one to pull it off. Because it's so easy for Protoss to sit on top of a ramp and drop cannons, stasis traps, put Archons on hold position the way the Goblin's done it before. I think every other map, this would have been way more difficult for Goblin than this game. The Brutes are here. The first Tempest is on the production tab. It is 10 Broodlords. It could be problematic, but I really think that these Archons, Storms, Stalkers can deal with the Broodlings for quite some time until the Tempest count goes up or until we find a way to dwindle the ground army of Cham, and then eventually find the magical blink underneath the Broodlord. Cham is sending it. It's definitely a fun game. This is an action-packed game. Here come all the links once more. It's very chaotic and messy as we just see a bunch of storms go down. I think the Stalkers are waiting for their opportunity to blink underneath these Broodlords. And I want to say, I think Goblin's almost there. Cham has lost. Oh, bailing on all the probes there. No, doesn't go for it. 18 probes were clumped up on that Vespian geyser. But the bailing didn't see it, ignores it, goes for an Archon or whatever instead. I think Goblin can just start chasing his army if he really wants to. Ah, guys, imagine that bailing. Imagine that bailing on the 18 probes that are clumped up here. And a lot of probes were low on HP. Would have absolutely killed 6 or 7. Alright, I'll leave myself out here, guys. That's the end of the broadcast. Hope you guys had a good day. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow. Cham fires up a more Corruptus. Has 13 Broodlords remaining, but I think at this point Cham is probably not feeling very hopeful, despite the fact that he's still maxed out and has a decent amount of creep. Just Goblin's army feels like it's only getting scarier and scarier, and Goblin's done a really good job in immediately firing up +2 plasma shields, slowly thinking of securing a 5th base. I think I've missed that ship, LV Sim. I think we're too late for that regard. I've got a bunch of old folks watching me. But you know what? I like it. I'm a product of my own environment. And I'm old. Most of you guys are old. We do alright with some of the kids. Some of the youngsters out there appreciate the old man. Tempests are ripping through these roots. It's obviously a painful fight for Cham. It's not much of a fight. What Cham did manage to do is get a cancel on the 5th. That's nice. But Cham once more. Cham is looking for that game-deciding fight, as Hero Marine likes to call it. +3 melee. Gets a kill on the Nexus this time around. As Lings and Bangs with Adrenal Glands are making their way through a couple of the Archons. High Templar or 2. How many Stalkers are remaining for Goblin? 22. Rexy. I don't know about you. 22 is a lot. Now Cham is realizing that this ground army of Goblin is very scary, so he's going to have to disengage. But the Broodlords, even if they got a movement speed buff a while ago, are still very slow. And this is an incredibly cost-efficient game by Goblin. 13,000 resources going down against 28,000 on the side of Cham. 2_pi. I mean, we have a couple of Linos as well, right? We have Der Lino, and then we have obviously our Lino, and then there was another Lino. It was Lino Galore wanted. So it only makes sense that we have more than 1 pi. Goblin drops a couple of storms. Nice Funko on the side of Cham, as he's going to be able to slow down this army, and that may allow the Ravagers to land a couple of good corrosive balls. And I want to say that may allow the Zerglings to get on top of these Archons and Stalkers, but there are no more Zerglings remaining. Cham did try to transition into Ultras. The final Broodlords are trying to take advantage of the lack of high ground vision here for Goblin. But Goblin's army is so powerful and big and well upgraded. An 18,000 difference in the amount of resources that has gone down. So we have a single Stalker as well. I see you, Goblin. I respect the OG Stalker. The one Stalker drive-by on the top side of the map. Goblin showing us that he too can multitask like the very best Zergs and Terrans out there. You know what? I'm a believer. Blink it away. Oh, it's okay. Could have happened to anyone. Cham thought of countering one last time with Zerglings, but Goblin's got an answer for those Lings as well. GG gets called, and it's another 4-0 lead for us as we improve to 4 wins and 1 loss overall in the group stage. We do still have 2 more games to go. Reynor is up next. And then we have another 2v2. But the most important thing is, guys, we get our second W of the 3 clan wars that we are playing today. And you love to see it. I love to see it. Goblin gets the job done. Goblin is not on Basilisk! Exclamation mark. Goblin. There you go. I did it for you. This team league, guys, is not a traditional team league where it's truly only members of teams. A lot of teams are just kind of made up. A couple of friends playing together under a banner. Some teams merging, like Platinum Heroes and Team Rotti, and we decided to also add one player for this team league to make sure that we wouldn't give Wardi too many headaches of someone not being available. And obviously, Reynor does not love playing 2v2 all that much. I'm definitely not going to play some 2v2, and you needed 2 different 2v2 teams. So to make sure that Reynor's PC wouldn't explode by making him play 2v2, we added Goblin, as he's a great 2v2 player. And Goblin is a great kid, and he gets along well with the crowd. Reynor versus eGGz is going to be our next 1v1. Reynor is our MVP so far. Best of 1. Reynor is our Italian Zerg, and eGGz is our Colombian Zerg. I'll give you guys 5 minutes to get your prediction in. I'll take a mini break. Never mind, we don't take a mini break. Let's play versus Skillis. 2v2 first. Okay, I'm not sure, guys. There may be a chance that eGGz is playing... eGGz has to play a 2v2 versus Liquid, but he also has to play a 1v1 against Reynor. Now Skilla says just go eGGz Reynor. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. Mini breaky, 2 minutes. I'll be back. eGGz Reynor is coming up either in 2 minutes or in 10 minutes. I think it's gonna be 2. So whenever you want. Alrighty, guys. A little best of 1. We have collected the W in the clan war. That's the most important thing. But we're still gonna play the remaining 2 matches for the stats and to make sure that the final results are fair in case of tiebreakers. Here we go. Round 5 in the bottom right side. Italian Stallion. He's been doing very good for us in the team league so far. It is Basilisk Reynor. And in the top left side, we're looking at the main base of our Colombian Zerg, who also has to play the 2v2 versus Liquid. But I don't think this eGGz is gonna take that long. eGGz Reynor, that just screams early game aggression. It's eGGz. I just said it, the double intro, and I've got hiccups. One more big clan war coming up after this, and that is the one versus not eGGz, with a couple of big matches like Serral versus Hero, Reynor versus Shin, Reynor versus Bunny. Maybe an ace match, who knows? That's definitely the biggest one of the 3. Of course, going by our status and the records and the resumes of our players, we were always supposed to win the first 2 clan wars. But I'm very happy that we are doing that, and we're doing it in a perfect manner so far. 10 W's in a row. What a Sunday, guys. 10 W's in a row. If we go 18-0 today, that would be very insane, but that's going to be very tough against not eGGz. We need maps. We are getting maps. So far we got all the maps. Can't say we ain't collecting the maps today. It has been flawless. Thank you, Foker, for the 23 months, mate. Much love. Your prime is appreciated. One thing, by the way, that I will also do this weekend, guys, is add a few more loyalty badges. Because I was maxed out on loyalty badges the last time I updated them, like a year and a half ago. Because my channel is so old, it is just a massive laundry list of loyalty badges. Because it starts at 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then it's a year, year and a half, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, 3.5, 4 years. Since we are closing in on our 14-year stream anniversary, we can have infinite loyalty badges. What MMR's universe? I think between like 5.3 and 6k, but I'm not exactly certain. If I have to guess, I would say it's like 5,400, give or take, but that's a bit of a shot in the dark. Not ultra familiar with universe. I obviously know his name, and I've played games against him in the past, but I don't know what MMR is currently working with. Reynor is the first one to fire up 16 lings, as eGGz is going to build 2 overlords. And he's still making drones. It's very important, guys, for the Colombian Zerg that he starts making some units soon, otherwise he's in trouble. Reynor is going to show up at 20 lings when he only has like 4 and a couple of queens. eGGz is going to get some defensive banelings, but we know that Reynor can outmicro a baneling or 2. He has done that more than once in his career. So here we go. 4 minutes of ZVZ action on Winter Madness, and this is the first big interaction between the two. Reynor's got Banelings, Axe got a couple of Banes, but Reynor has Banelings and Zerglings. This is gonna be so difficult for Axe. Like, Reynor can settle for the 2-for-2 trade here. Yeah, I don't hate that trade. The moment you see that there is an opportunity, guys, to take an excellent trade like that, where you can get so much value from all your Zerglings, you may as well just settle for that 2-for-2. Even if it's not the prettiest thing in the world, it's completely fine. As Reynor is continuing to find more and more and more damage. Link Bane goes well. Reynor jumps on the second queen too. There are some Banelings morphing, but Reynor's gonna get the queen. Reynor misclicked on the Baneling nest there, and that's actually gonna allow one of the Banelings, I think, to finish up. But Reynor is well aware of that, so he's gonna disengage. Great start from Reynor. Love it. It felt like victory, victory, victory there. Got 2 queens, 2 Banes, 13 links for 7 Zerglings and 2 Banelings himself. Our Italian is flying. Similar to how Kimi Antonelli was flying. Am I right, guys? It has been flying. This is another favorable fight for Reynor. X is doing his best to find a victory somewhere, but down in queens now, down in drones, down in units. It's going to be very difficult. And maybe on Tuesday, the Azura will be flying. They're going to try to qualify for the World Cup. Did you see the Instagram reel that I shared in the F1 channel, by the way, Pi? I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, that guy always does a good job, right, with his sketches. His Russell impression is so good. Does Mercedes have a good car this year? They've got the best car vulnerable. At this moment, it's the best by far. It's like not even close. Maybe things get closer over time. Reynor is going to try to finish the job that he started a while ago as he gets the kill on the hatchery. Hello, Walter. We're gonna post a picture of you tomorrow, Walter. We took a great picture of Walter yesterday in the city with some apple pie and ice cream. It's not public yet on the Instagram, but tomorrow or the day after there will be a great picture of Walter. You know why we're talking about you. Look at Reynor, by the way, guys. He's picking up roach after roach. X had enough of this game, and he's gonna try to make something happen on the other side of the map, but how on earth are we going to make something happen when we are down in roaches, when we have to attack up a ramp into Triple Queen? It is 5-0 for Basilisk. It's another W for Reynor. And we have one last 2v2 before we wrap up this clan war. There's 11 victories in a row for us. Can't be upset over that. 11 victories in a row. Hello, Special. In what, mate? What are you asking me? Mr. RotterdaM, you're not interested. I was like, what are you on about? But now I get it. Okay, okay, so we have our final 2v2. Let me just double check that. Our final 2v2 is obviously going to be a Serral and Trigger versus Cham and Universe. So Serral, Trigger versus Cham and Universe. For our perfect 12-0 start. Serral, Trigger versus Cham and Universe. Here we go. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. I don't know if all the gamers are ready. This is where Walter will be posted tomorrow, by the way. This is Vicky's Instagram of all her Jellycats. Vicky is becoming a real influencer. I can't show it. I'm not logged in. This one is very cute, actually, but I can't show it. Damn it. It's worth checking, guys. Look at Vicky's work of art. This is the link, and then click on this little video. She spends hours upon hours making little videos of Jellycats. Oh wait. Sorry. Oh no! I think they started. No. Wait. That's right. Okay. Sorry guys. How How can I watch the 2v2 now? Are they back? Are they not back? Maybe they're rehosting. Why did you join this game? Is he streaming it on his channel? Yeah, it's getting a bit chaotic because the clan wars are going through each other, but I can just restream Wardi. It's fine. If Wardi is streaming it, then I can just restream Wardi. It's all good. Alright. Yeah, Wardi is streaming it, guys. So, what we're gonna do is no game sounds, and we're just gonna watch this one through. This is my bad, by the way, because I was all tapped, settling predictions, starting the next prediction, but we'll just follow Wardi's camera. No game sounds for this one, but it's all good. I think you have time, Reynor. You've got a lot of time, matey. You can relax. Because I believe, like, Wardi will obviously wrap up Team Liquid versus No Ace Jin Air. Let me take a look at that. I want to take a look at the scores, by the way, while we take a look at the opening matches. How are things going exactly between Liquid and... Oh, they're down 1-3. No Cham today. So Liquid versus No Ace Jin Air. Well, doesn't that just mean that we are guaranteed top 2? If No Ace... No, actually that's not true, right? They are 4-2. We could end 4-2, and these guys. No, okay.
That's all good. We'll get that sorted later on. Like I say, I mean, this is the benefit of being a team.
Priya, see the doctor? Why does he have to see the doctor? Anyway, we've got another match. After this, I think Reynor's got some time. We'll figure it out. But we'll be in sync with Wardi. What do we got? Cham and Universe going for. Hey, Cham is playing Terran? I was like, Reapers and Marauders, but that doesn't sound right, but apparently it is right. And Serral and Trigger playing Zerg and Protoss as usual. But that's definitely a bit surprising. Double Terran for Cham and Universe. I feel like this is Universe cooking, saying, Cham, I've got a build, trust me, mate, just play Terran. We're gonna be fine. Is he actually going to be fine? That I really don't know. Oh, that's quite something. We'll figure it out. Well, we saved the best for last today. The next one is obviously the biggest one. But it's been very good. Cannot complain. Fun, exciting, and potentially a perfect 12-0. Serral's gonna build a spine. He seems to be a tiny bit worried.
So instead of playing Terran Zerg, they've chose to play Terran, which I don't think playing Terran makes a lot of sense. If they were both Zerg,
I'm just listening to Wardi's commentary a little bit.
So I'm a little bit surprised that Cham switches to Terran here. You're going to be seeing Serral with the Lair and Rotron on the way up. Get a spine defensively as well. Trigger moving his way.
Because all 6 games will always be played, and only if the score is 3-3 we go to an ace match. But you seed 6 players, or well, 4 1v1 players, and then 2 2v2 teams, and all 6 matches are always played. But the clan war is a best of 7. You win it if you get 4 points or more. If it's tied after 6, then you play an ace match.
One draw on the upper right, so you can take a bit of a hidden base here on Rohana, so a little bit of a hidden base to kick this off. As you see the against him.
Feels like our boys are a tiny bit confused on everything that's happening in this 2v2, and I can't really blame them. I'd be confused too. So they could have conceded this match. They could have conceded, yes, and we would still win the clan war. We'd be 5-1. But then there is a chance that if we end up in a 3-way tie, that the map loss can do us dirty and can actually give us a lower seeding. Right now, this group is actually quite feisty and competitive still, because you've got 4 teams that are all pretty evenly close, and we beat Liquid, but Liquid beat one of the other teams, and one of the 4 is going to be unlucky. One of the 4 will not make it into the playoffs. So every map does kind of matter. Most important thing, obviously, is winning the clan wars, and if we win the next clan war, we're always fine. But if you end up in three-way ties, then map scores can matter.
Like I say, after this, we have Basilisk against eGGz. Starts off with Serral versus Hero.
That is correct, Wardi.
Scorcher of a game.
Serral Hero,
Well, it's
best
actually
of
a very
one,
important
coming
match
up.
for the league as well, so that's going to be, like I say, also very important. Almost no doubt.
Serral has to be cautious here, by the way, guys. Attacking with roaches against cyclones and marauders. This is what roach nightmares are made out of. I'm actually,
Cyclone's gonna get
am I crazy or when I say I think this 2v2 looks scary? Is there a world where we are in trouble? Because the boys are being pulled, there's stimmed bio, there is cyclones, universe is heavily supply blocked, but he's obviously gonna free up some supply if he loses a couple cyclones. As long as he doesn't lose all the cyclones, he's gonna be okay. I may hope that one of the two Terrans has a scan available. This actually looks scary for us, guys. For the first time today, I want to say we could potentially be in a bit of trouble. Serral's supply looks good, but roaches are going to melt against marauders with stim and cyclones with Macfield. Here we go. Shield batteries are going to try to do their thing and save a couple of these units. Lots of SCVs have already died. Alright, we've got roaches for days. We've got creep to work with. We're okay. I feel like if the Terrans weren't as supply block as they were, and they had a little bit more, which they definitely could have had, this could have been scary, but in the end it is not scary. It seems like we didn't miss a whole lot by not being in this lobby. GG gets called. Our second 6-0. Back-to-back 6-0s. We'll take it. We love it. You guys love it. And now we get ready for a big one, guys. Basilisk versus not a eGGz. Reynor, by the way, has time for like 2 games of League of Legends, because he's not going to be playing for a while. Alright, well, could not have asked for anything more than this. 6-0, 6-0, and of course we have the more accomplished players. We were supposed to win this, but this is perfect. I'm very happy with everything that we have seen. So next up is Serral versus Hero, best of 1. Basilisk versus not eGGz. This is a big one. Serral is our Finnish Zerg, and Hero is, of course, our Korean Protoss. I'll give you guys 15 minutes, because I think Wardi may take like a second before we hop into this. Never mind, he's hosting immediately. This is immediately for Hero Serral. Okay, Wardi says, sorry. Don't worry, mate.